Hello, good evening. This is Lady Scarlet, and I thought I would go ahead and get Aquarius tonight. And then, we'll start over the cycle, right? That's how it goes. Everything's a cycle. Um, and so I think that I am feeling like my Welcome to Night Vale deck because it just, I don't know. I like this deck a lot. So let's see what's going on for Aquarius. If you all are intuitives, then you know that when I say things are resonating very strongly and a lot of things are coming through, I don't know, are you all calling your friends, like telling them things? Because calling friends, telling them all of these crazy things that are coming to me, and it's very, when you are a channeler or medium of some kind, there are times that are things really resonate differently. Thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Can we please clarify for Aquarius? What is our... Woo, we had a lot of cards jump out. That's a lot of cards. Keep them on the bottom and see what they are. And anyway, I just... today, I was trying to hold... I was out shopping, and I had to kind of stop listening because I was getting messages for everyone I was around. I did tell one person because I just felt like she needed to hear something, so I told her, and she started crying, and I said, I realize that that's really crazy and you might need a minute, but you all, can you imagine walking around and just hearing and feeling other people's energy and thoughts all the time? I mean, you have to be able to shut that down sometimes. And so anyway, it was an interesting thing because I've had my ability turned off for a while, is because I was going through some things. There were some blocks to it. And so it's really coming out right now. So you've got some Seven of Pentacles. So, it's the Harvest card. These are the cards that were on the bottom of the deck. But Seven of Pentacles, Seven of Cups. And it's like, feels, for some of you, it feels like you've been working really, really hard and you don't have the options that you want. And you're like, you know, what's, what's all this about? Why am I working so hard and not getting any result? Things are really slowing down for you. But you are thinking logically and almost cold and calculating, which, you are Aquarius. So I feel like someone around you is not being honest. So, but you're really wanting to be social, but you're feeling like a lot of the people around you are not necessarily authentic. And, Aquarians do like to have, sometimes they'll have several different groups of friends, and so maybe you're trying to figure out which group of friends. I get that one of you might be in a polycule and you're like trying to decide which people you want to be around right now. So let's clarify. And I think for my Aquarians, I'm going to do the Jane Austen deck. Sorry, I hit my scrying bowl with the frog over there. So feeling like the Jane Austen deck. So I know a lot of you like art and literature, so let's go that route, right? It's a little bit of Jane Austen. So, immediately there's a lot of stuff in your head that you want to express, but you're not around the right people to express it. It's almost like you feel like the people around you are too childish right now. Or maybe, and for some of you, I feel like you want to be more playful, but you're not finding the right crowd to do that with. So immediately what I see is the Eight of Pentacles in reverse in your current position or recent past. And so um, for some of you, that's a job transition. For some of you, it's maybe you're in school or you're learning something and you're really getting burned out with it, and you need, some, I would say some kind of like art gallery trip or a concert or something like that. You need some fun social time. Well, those just jumped out, did they not? Yeah, so we're like, well, of course they did. So some of you are going through some upheaval right now. So I get also sense of job change here, and there's a King of Cups in reverse, and there's that Eight of Pentacles. That definitely looks like either you walked away in anger or you were fired. Um, but there's I would guess that some of you had savings and so you're not worried about money, but some of you may be thinking, you know what, I need to go back to school, or I need different training or different skills because you're very much out of balance right now. Feeling a lot of out of balance. But you do have Ace of Pentacles in the home spot. So I don't know that you're really worried about money. I think most of you are pretty balanced, or you have some kind of outside resource or help to assist you with that. But that also could very well be a relationship, upheaval in a relationship, because you have the King of Cups in reverse, and so not feeling super loving right now. So you're desperately needing to socialize with other people outside of the usual circle. So let's clarify this Ace of Pentacles. Thank you, Spirit Guides, Ancestors, and Angels. Can you please clarify Ace of Pentacles for my Aquarians? You know, I would say this too. You know, Aquarians can get up in their head a lot and be thinking that wasn't what I wanted. You know, kind of sometimes dismissing that we don't always get the ideal that we are striving for. So yeah, you know, feeling somewhat defensive. You know, I would guess there's been some miscommunications and maybe even arguments, and maybe even like I see somebody just storming out, just storming out, like I'm not doing this kind of a thing. So yeah, so look, Queen of Swords, you know, maybe there's been some biting words back and forth between people. So you have the High Priestess, so things probably that were hidden are coming out, or they're about to. You're feeling it. There's a big change in your home spot. There's the Death card, you know, which is about transformation. That's also the Four of Swords, so you might need some time to think about what's going on, right? And maybe you are moving. And for some of you, I feel like this is a long way. And you are not exactly happy about it. Communication shutting down. Wheel of Fortune. I mean, it is a path of your destiny. I know that doesn't necessarily make you feel better. I really feel like these kind of all go in line. You have Judgment over here. A decision is being made as some truths are found out. So these are kind of all connecting. You were feeling really stuck and depressed, and in your head there was some miscommunications, and you felt very out of balance, and you're feeling like the people that you've been around, you're not resonating with them the same way. There's Two of Pentacles, so you've been juggling a couple of options. I feel work or school. I'm not sure exactly which that is. You might also have someone new coming into your life, although your cup is, you know, that Ace of Cups on the bottom is upside down. I think you're thinking about, how do I get stability so that I can have what I want, right? Or the ideal. Right here you have Two of Swords, and, you know, typically that's something hidden, or, you know, some different choices, but you've got Judgment in the near future, and I think for most of you, you've already made a decision to move on from something. And these twos right here, these opposing twos, juggling, but then here in the near future position, the connector to the outcome, you've made the decision. And some of you might already be there. Remember, we're kind of all on a different timeline. And so some of you are already there, and some of you are getting there, right? And so we've got Justice in reverse. There could be Libra involved. There's a lot of cups, so there could be water signs involved as well. You know, three of Swords. So somebody's got a broken heart. I think that maybe you or your person do. I think it's different for different people. I'm reading a collective, so I'm picking up a lot of energies. And here, you know, again, is Three of Pentacles. So maybe some of you were put in a situation, what we kind of colloquially call a third party situation. Or you could have been involved in a third party and it got found out. I'm feeling that for at least one person out there. It was a little tiny nudge, but your sun's upside down. You know, I feel for some of you, you might be playing on people's sympathies. You know, so you or the person you're with are, I don't want to say playing the victim because it sounds so bad, but that's kind of the energy I'm getting off of it. And then you have the Lovers. But here's the thing. I think that if you are leaving someone, you had another person in mind already. And that could be true for your partner as well, but I'm picking it up a lot for you. for the Aquarian. So there's some struggle going on with, and I feel like it's a bunch of different people, like just things have been very miscommunicated. I also just picked up maybe that several of you were accused of some things that you didn't do and you got really upset about it. Obviously we would, right? But and that caused a rift in a friendship group, not necessarily a romantic group, but could be a friendship group as well. And for some of you it may have been family. I'm picking up father for someone, a miscommunication with the father, and you're like, I'm moving on with this business. But you're really worried about the options. And maybe for some of you, you're like, I got with this person or this group of people and it was a lot of conflict. And I really thought that, the grass was greener on the other side. And because for some of you, there's a person in the past that you left behind. And then the situation played out. And now I would say that some of you are feeling really foolish. Ace of Swords in reverse. I mean, lots of miscommunication, you know. That's a split up. I mean, that's what it looks like. Conflict and a split up with something. Seven of Pentacles, though, this is about divine timing. So anytime that we get Seven of Pentacles with the, you had a Seven of Pentacles up here, or it was on the bottom of the deck right here. So you've got Seven of Pentacles in two different decks showing up. And so you're really weighing a lot of options to see which direction you want to go, but you feel like you're running out of options is what I'm feeling. And at the bottom of the card you have Judgment in reverse. So some of you are vacillating between I've made the decision and no, I don't want to do that. And here's that Two of Pentacles again. And then you have the World upside down. For some of you, you are moving a distance away. And for some of you, the relationship was long distance, maybe even across countries. I also pick up that maybe somebody had an online business and there's a fall through with that. Like it's just not doing well right now. So I want to clarify just a little bit more. I think I'm going to use the supernatural deck, maybe to get kind of more of an overall feeling of some of this conflict, because there's just a ton of conflict and a ton of different people that it is involved in. So thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Can we please clarify for our Aquarians the outcome of this situation? How are they going to move forward for their greatest good? Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. Can we please clarify for Aquarius here? Okay, let's clarify a little more of this. You do have Ace of Cups right side up on this deck at the bottom covering your read, and you have the Lovers upside down. I mean, so for some of you, you did have somebody kind of waiting for you. But this does affect your money. This is a change in income. But I feel like there's one relationship ending and another one happening at the same time. Like you all have been at least messaging with some intent. Okay? There's something there. So let's use these to clarify the outcome for you. So you have Temperance in reverse. That tells me that things are very, very out of balance, and maybe there were lies that are now coming out. Wheel of Fortune, that's the Wheel of Destiny. So look, what's going to happen? What is meant for you is not going to pass you by. Remember that. But our free will can sometimes change how the Wheel of Fortune comes to us, right? In the space and time that it might come to us. Again, up in your head, not messaging when you want to, not communicating clearly. Messages that you're wanting to get from someone, you're not. I'm getting a sense that somebody gave an ultimatum and they didn't get the answer they wanted. So Death card definitely changes. Obviously, I mean, there's definitely some splitting up of friendships and relationships. And again, that one person that, or maybe a few people that had something going on with a father or father figure. But it is going to get better. You're going to make some decisions differently. Here's the Sun card, and that's joy, happiness, the happiest card in the tarot deck, right? But lots of strife, and I think probably just the end of the strife is going to feel like sunshine for you. So Eight of Wands. So some of you that have not been getting communication are going to be getting communication sometime Remember, that other person has free will. So for some of you, that person will communicate with you, and for others, they won't communicate with you, okay? Um, Five of Cups in reverse, and you got Five of Cups up here in the near future as well. So it's like disappointment. Whatever this person is going to say, or so you'll be disappointed if you don't hear from them. And for those of you that do, it's going to give you some hope. It's going to restore some hope, but it won't quite be what you want. Also, whatever extra relationships might have existed, it looks like those are ending. I mean, this is Three of Cups and it's in reverse, and it's typically associated with either an event falling through, um, or it could be a third party situation breaking up. And that, that could, if it's E&M or polyamory, it could be that there's, part of the polycule breaking up as well. One of the relationships is ending, but not all of them, okay? I do want to pull some of my personal deck to clarify a few things, maybe for some more insight. So thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Let me get some insight for Aquarius, please. I did meditate on you all's cards before, and I've been thinking about the Aquarius read all day, so energy's rushing at me really fast, so I'm trying to give it all to you. I do get, at the same time, a car and a boat in my scrying bowl, so some of you are definitely traveling or moving, and for some of you it's far off. There's lots of journey type stuff happening. So this is the Be Good by Waxahachie card, and there's some regret. It's like a love song without the love, so it's kind of best friend energy. So some of you may have been friend zoned. You took an emotional risk and it didn't go the way that you wanted it to, and now you're kind of up in your head, like you really had, like, this person is somebody that I could really be with, right? Timing is off. Timing is off. It's not the right time. Somebody is not healed enough yet for that kind of commitment. So here's Blackbird by the Beatles. So this is about there. So what I'm getting is there wasn't really equality and equanimity. Some person was, like, Aquarians a lot of times are called the contrarians, and maybe this person didn't have quite the communication skills to keep up with you, perhaps. Seems like maybe they were too passive, and that's really difficult for Aquarians. It can also be a call to action, like social justice, advocacy, equanimity, equality. It's with Blackbird by the Beatles, and so that is a song about civil rights, y'all. So it very well could be that, I get that maybe you're going to do something like that, but maybe that's, for some of you, that might be while you're traveling, like you're an advocate and you're, so radical validation, radical there because the validation is really merely coming from you to yourself. It's not coming from outside sources. So we have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So for a lot of you, you're dealing with a fire sign. And then we have Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So I really do get a big sense of, polycule having some communication issues. So here's Scorpio energy. So there's Scorpio twice, right? There's Topaz. It's overcoming obstacles, clarity, passion and purpose, wealth and abundance, calmness, positivity and warmth. There's Aries. So that's the Diamond card, and that's about fearlessness in relationships, relationships filled with love. So faithfulness, innocence, purity, manifestation, abundance, and fortitude. So some of you are going to try to focus on your career, and maybe for some of you, I am picking up that for some of you, there was kind of a necessary split because somebody had to leave to go do a job, like you travel or something for work, or you're traveling for work or school. Can I get just a couple more cards to clarify for, woo, not that many. That was a book. Okay, but this one definitely. So I am afraid of the truth. I'm afraid to be honest. So somebody was keeping some things from you, and it very well could have been you keeping things from the other person or people as well. Let's get just a few more. Thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. So what is meant for you will not pass you by. You also got some of this feels like a continuous cycle from you for you, and you are ready to break it. Remember, what is meant for you will not pass you by. It will find you, but you all have free will. So you're going to make those decisions based on what what you feel is right for you, and that for some of you that's going to slow the wheel of destiny down. For some of you it's going to speed up. Um, I attract that which I deserve from the universe. So some of these are karmic situations, karmic connections, or karmic partners, and the cycle needs to end to complete that karmic process, right? Um, so, heart chakra, don't close your heart, Aquarians, even if you are disappointed. I mean, work on that heart chakra. Forgiveness, empathy, unconditional love, and it's really turning it inward. You know, Aquarians can be really hard on themselves. So, really turn that love to yourself and focus on you for a bit and some healing, but don't close off to love. This the heart chakra is associated with green, okay? So you might see green a lot, it might be resonating with you, or you might focus on the color green to help with that. Some of you might have been dealing with a Virgo. Sapphire is the stone. Wisdom, faithfulness. You know, faithfulness has come up a few times, so I really feel like some loyalty was broken. Um, so this is about building up the natural energy in your body. So sapphires might resonate with you. And some of you are feeling foolish. Miscommunications. This is the Fool in the Rain by Led Zeppelin card. It's also kind of about puppy love, you know, like maybe somebody got friend zoned and they really, you know, it ended up being like, I'm foolish, you know. But it's also about taking risks. But it can also signify some obsession. And so make sure you're not in your head too much. And listen, your intuition is correct. Listen, your intuition is correct. Um, so the opal is at the bottom of the deck, the Libra energy. So you should be working on your confidence, your good luck, you know, positive thoughts, balance and harmony. Not too much people pleasing, but this is also about anxiety relief. So opals might resonate with you right now. And, you know, it's just something to think about. I'm going to pull some direct advice from my little personal oracle cards and see what they tell us for Aquarius. Thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Can we get a few oracle cards for our Aquarians? So, hydrate, eat healthy. So it's a time to focus on, you know, your wellness, right? Eating healthy, drinking that water. We need a few more cards for Aquarius, please. Seek a professional. Some of you are really in your head and you're really struggling with that. I get more anxiety than depression. You know, like I'm almost feeling like some of you have anxiety attacks. And so, you know, work with some, really hydrate is a good point. If I get dehydrated, I'm much more likely to have an anxiety attack. I've had them in the past. So if you're starting to feel short of breath, you might try some water, you know, sit down, take some deep breaths and drink some water. I know that I used to work with this beautiful friend of mine, Sarah, at a mental health agency I worked at. And when I got all in my feels and I got anxious, she would have me sit down and breathe, and she would go get me water. And it was the sweetest thing. Don't stop mid-conquer. There's some project you're working on. It might be a very big project and you're starting to kind of get in your head about it. Don't stop. There are other people that will help, that will assist, and it's time to reach out to them. We get one more oracle card for, whew, there we go, there it is. Get out in nature, plant a tree, grow flowers, walk through a garden, maybe a botanical garden, something like that, or go get some plants and take care of some plants. It's not quite the time to plant trees. We need a little bit more time to pass, a little bit more into spring before you do that. But there are some other plants that you can do at this time of year in February. So at the bottom, it says discomfort leads to change. It's only when we get uncomfortable enough and that we, you know, deal with our own BS. I'm too uncomfortable. Okay, I got to deal with it because I don't want to feel like this anymore, right? So there's some direct advice. I really, I think I'm going to pull on my, I've got this new deck over here that's, it's like called the Sexy Love deck, but it's really much more about self-love than anything else. So I'll pull a few cards out of this for you with some advice as well. They're really cute cards, and I just got them, so I kind of want to play with them. They have some advice on them too. So let's see what we got. We got the be gentle with yourself. So be gentle with yourself. And on the back it says, take your foot off the gas and don't push yourself so hard. If you need to rest, then take a break. The world won't fall apart if you nap. Renew, dear one. You are a treasure. Be gentle with yourself. That's so sweet. I like that. The bottom one is say you're sorry. Some of you maybe need to say you're sorry, right? And on the back it says, are you carrying around regret? Is there a relationship that needs healing but you just don't know what to say? Give your pride a rest and simply start with, I'm sorry. Take responsibility and acknowledge your role in the situation. Apologize for them and for you. Then let it go and be very proud of yourself. Making amends isn't easy, but it's a huge leap forward on your spiritual path. Bravo. That's really cute. I like those. So I do want to pull some runes for you. Let's see. We got Daig. Like I got 4, but that's cool. Somebody might be trying to have a baby. We're starting a family. So Daig is a very, it's seriously one of my favorite runes. So it's a symbol of increase and growth, and a major period of increase and prosperity is often introduced by this rune. It does not have a reversal. There is not a negative way to put Daig down. I'll get it a little closer so that you can see it. There's not really any delay runes, so I was seeing if any... So this does mark a major change in your life, something so radical you'll never live your life in the same way again. New start on some level. Sometimes it just shows that you're going to make the best of a situation over which you have no control. Things will get better, and sometimes maybe through an outside agency, okay? Like, so then you have Lagos, but it's in reverse. And so, but you have some really positive ones. So it says you will be or already are misled by your intuition into tackling something for which you have no real aptitude. It's a temptation to do the wrong thing or take the easy way out, which can only lead to trouble. You don't have any delay runes, so it's not... it can indicate a woman who may bring trouble into your life. And remember, I don't really read gender, so it could be somebody that is in their feminine energy as well. So take that as it resonates. It can mean betrayal and backstabbing on the part of a female friend, or for a male, it can also indicate disloyalty on the part of an existing partner or a new love affair that will only bring unhappiness. But if surrounded by success runes, it can indicate a strong female figure who may be a great help at present, but who will make you feel beholden later. You know, so be careful with that. Dax, honey, it's okay. Everything's fine. My puppy, she's not a puppy, actually. She's a 5-year-old Jack Russell Terrier, but she is the best guard dog out there. She lets me know if there's anything in this yard at all. So she's good, and I don't want to get on to her because that's just her instinct to take care of her family. You also have Anzus here. Let me find it. I always check the book to make sure that, because they can mean things when they're paired with each other. So, and none of these are saying that. So this is mouth. That's what Anzus means. And it usually indicates the spoken word or taking of advice or acquisition of wisdom. Fear should be put aside, for it indicates the ability to sail through whatever arises with eloquence and ease. If there's a test or an interview, it could be indicating that you're going to have a test or an interview. And I did say, you know, there could be a new job here. So be on the lookout for meetings or chance encounters with older people or those wiser than yourself. It denotes a need for careful thought and deliberation, often coupled with the advice of another. It might come from a parent or parental figure wise in the ways of the world. Heed this rune because it indicates open, unbiased advice that is honest and often helpful. This advice, freely given and totally free of guile, may be just what you need to hear at this time in order to solve your dilemma. Um, okay, and Bjork in the outcome says that your advice may originate from a close relative, such as a mother or child, someone in your immediate family. And we don't have any of the other runes associated. So it appears to suggest an apprenticeship to a new trade. I remember I said that earlier in over here in the read. You had like you might be learning a new trade or a new job skill or something like that. Um, and it says it refers to an aspect of life or a situation that you may have never encountered before. In this case, it is likely that you will be helped and guided by a sympathetic and patient individual who is attentive and knowledgeable, from where you will learn a great deal. And then you have Bjork in the outcome, and it often represents your mother or your children, and it usually indicates an event which brings joy to the family, such as a birth or wedding. It represents your true home, the home where your heart is, as opposed to where you might be living. It always presages a birth, whether it's an actual birth or formation of an idea. Remember, I said some of you might have big projects that you're working on and you're worried about them falling through, and it's really a time to call for help or advice, and your rune cast is definitely saying that. Go into matters at this time with care and awareness. This rune is always indicative of a tangible result and is a very helpful rune whenever a new project is being contemplated. It suggests that any schemes in the work should be implemented right away. In the result position, which it is, indicates a fortunate outcome to any question asked. In other positions, it can signify a new beginning, a new project, a new romance. When it's surrounded by positive runes, it shows a favorable outcome. This is a pretty favorable rune cast, so for people who wish to have children but have had no luck, this rune signifies eventual success. So it may take a while, but it is likely to happen. Just ringing that little bell for our spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. I'm going to pull you an animal totem. Let's find out. Let me move some of these out of the way. There's a lot of cards up here. There was a lot of energy coming through. I feel like a lot of you are really in your head, and that's, maybe where that increase in anxiety comes from. So, there was a lot of call to get out to nature, and that might be helpful for you. So just keep that in mind, that it might be good for you to get outdoors, get some sunshine. I know it's still winter, but, maybe, a small trip, or maybe just, sitting out on the porch and looking at the trees or the sky or something like that might help give you a fresh perspective. All right, let us get an animal totem. It's okay, Dax. It's fine. Mommy's safe. She's the sweetest dog. So let's get you an animal totem for Aquarius, please. Thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Can we get a totem for Aquarius? Ooh, we got a bunch of them. Maybe not that many, right? So many of these want to jump out right now. Let's try that one more time. Thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Can we please get, one or two would be okay. They're kind of sticking together. There we go. You got Coyote. Let me show you what the Coyote card looks like. And it says transformation, creation, cunning, and good fortune. The Coyote often embodies the trickster, a mischievous but heroic supernatural being that uses magic, cunning, or deception to achieve its ends. Most Native American tribes of the Pacific Northwest claim the coyote to be their creator. In some legends, the coyote forms the different peoples of the land from the various sections of a great beaver, which it has slain. The Plains Indians also regard the coyote as a teacher and magician. In all of its roles, the coyote is a benevolent figure who intentionally or unintentionally helps to restore balance and order. The rather pensive coyote woman in this painting, titled Coyote Woman Waits, is a character from Buffalo Gals, Won't You Come Out Tonight, a story written by Ursula K. Le Guin and illustrated by Boulet. It's a really beautiful picture. So the coyote. And then I'm going to get a couple of fairy dust oracle cards just to give you some sweet suggestions from our fairy friends. Thank you, spirit guides, ancestors, and angels. Can we please get a couple of fairy cards, some advice from our fairies for our Aquarian friends? Thank you, spirit guides, angels, and ancestors. I truly appreciate it. Can we get a couple of oracle cards? That one definitely wants to pop out. I've seen it a few times try. Get a few more cards, please. Sometimes they're shy. Whew. Okay. All right, so the first one that fell was the green fairy. A cheeky green fairy on your behalf is appearing here to make you laugh. So that's kind of a suggestion to have a sense of humor, right? And then we've got trust, breathe in, breathe out, let go of doubt. This is really about trusting yourself. I think this is, a lot of you with big projects and big things happening. Forest, of all the things you can do, travel is in the cards for you. We may have mentioned that. There was a lot of travel and a lot of movement cards in your read. And then at the bottom of the deck, I always show the bottom, and it says practice. After a while, you'll dance on air. Practice makes perfect. You're almost there. So for those of you that are studying or learning, a new career path or in college, practice, 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 study, study, study. I truly do appreciate all the subscribers, all of the likes, shares, sweet comments that I've gotten. And hopefully I'll get to see you again. This is Lady Scarlet. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.